When living as a human being, while constantly allowing the mind to drift endlessly through countless wandering thoughts, one only burdens the head further and gradually exhausts both body and spirit. So it is wiser to release some of those restless notions and let the heart become lighter and more peaceful. Vague thoughts and worries without any point of ending bring no real benefit at all. So it is far better to engage in a wholesome and meaningful action that allows the mind to settle and remain undisturbed by afflictions. Human life exists only once in this temporary realm, and once it passes, it can never be turned back. While everything that has been lost can never truly be restored to what it once was. The time each of us possesses is as limited as a drop of morning dew, and life itself is more precious than all material wealth. So we should cherish every present moment instead of wasting it in ignorance. Therefore, do not let the mind be bound and entangled by excessive thinking, but instead, return to appreciating what is right before your eyes. For that is the truest form of reality. Live each day fully with mindfulness, understanding that every passing day is a portion of life closing, and no one can ever predict what may arise within the impermanence of the future. Even in the very next moment, change can occur unexpectedly, and no one can know whether they or those beside them will depart first within the uncertain flow of birth and death. Those we care about and those who care about us are merely connections formed by conditions in this lifetime. And when those conditions end, there may never be another chance to meet again. Thus, there is no need to overthink excessively. For when tired, one should rest. And when the mind is troubled, one should seek ways to relax and return to inner stillness. In life, things that do not go as we wish will always exist, and people who are not fond of us are not uncommon. So we must learn to let go of attachment and clinging. Do not let your mind be shaken by gossip or judgment, but instead view every hardship with calmness, transforming criticism into motivation to refine and improve yourself. See failures as valuable lessons and continue walking your path with determination, while understanding that suffering is not something you alone must endure. Each person is simultaneously healing their wounds, persevering forward, and experiencing life, gradually maturing through awareness and awakening. Even when life feels exhausting, we must still face it. And even when days are filled with hardship, we cannot simply stop in the ever-changing flow of existence. For in this world, everyone carries their own difficulties, so it is important to maintain faith and continue striving forward with steady effort. Society is not always gentle like a mother's embrace, but often resembles a strict teacher who constantly challenges us so that we may grow. Those challenges may bring fatigue and criticism, yet they are precisely what helps strengthen our will and deepen our understanding of life. Life sometimes teaches us that complaining or lamenting brings no real benefit, as such reactions merely reflect an untransformed and fragile state of mind. Even if one wishes to appear pitiful, not everyone will understand, because each person is already occupied with their own suffering. There are times when society offers us no sympathy, and without effort, we should not expect to achieve anything meaningful in life. Therefore, when faced with pain, we must learn to transform our inner state, swallow our tears, and keep the mind steady in the face of adversity. Fatigue and hardship should be accepted as part of the journey. For without experiencing the many contrasts of human interactions, it is difficult to truly understand the flavor of life. If one has never tasted both bitterness and sweetness, or encountered reality directly, it becomes impossible to fully understand the human heart and the true and false nature of the world. Everyone longs for a simple and sincere life, and everyone desires to be treated with genuine honesty and to live in complete happiness. Yet the reality of life compels us to awaken, to change, to adapt, and to continuously refine ourselves within the ever-shifting current of existence. Society can at times be harsh and unforgiving, making one seem left behind if they do not strive hard enough before even having the chance to mature. With even a moment of weakness, one can be pushed down by the currents of life. So it is essential to cultivate an inner strength as steady as a mountain. The tears that have fallen, the paths that have been walked, along with all the hardship and suffering endured, all contribute to shaping who we are today. Those very experiences create a unique strength within us, allowing us to grow and become different from who we once were in the past. Therefore, if one has sufficient determination, there is no need for fear, and with enough faith, one should bravely step forward to embrace life's challenges. Difficult environments are also places of training, helping us grow not only in how we treat others, but also in our understanding of life itself. We should also learn to place ourselves in the position of others to truly understand them, for that is the very foundation of compassion in Buddhist teachings. If we wish to receive something from others, we must first learn to give sincerely without expecting anything in return. If we hope for others to empathize with us, we must cultivate a broad and forgiving heart, learning to pardon and not dwell on their faults. If we wish to be cared for, we must learn to appreciate what others offer us, for everything arises from causes and conditions. If we desire respect, we must first have self-respect, uphold our integrity, and live in accordance with moral principles. In both work and life, always maintain empathy, for when we understand the struggles of others, they will naturally come to understand us as well. When we are willing to help others in times of need, those karmic connections will return to us in a natural and balanced way. Human beings do not share the same body or mind, so it is impossible to fully understand one another, which is why we must learn to listen and accept differences. There are things we may find simple, Yet for others, they can be immense pressures, so we should not rush to judge before understanding their circumstances. Conversely, there are matters others may overlook that deeply trouble us, because each person holds their own unique perspective and emotional experience. We are not them, so our thoughts and perceptions naturally differ, and therefore we must open our hearts to understand and empathize more deeply. In communication, the most difficult yet most valuable skill is the ability to stand in another person's position and reflect on every situation from their viewpoint. When we are able to do this, we will learn to appreciate what matters to them and find the gentlest and most harmonious way to resolve things for both sides. The most beautiful relationship is one in which we truly understand each other's hearts, and even in times of hardship, we remain willing to support one another in fulfilling our deepest aspirations. Sometimes it is not necessary to express everything in words, for simply holding appreciation and understanding within the heart already forms a profound and meaningful connection. No human being is ever absolutely perfect, and work does not always unfold as smoothly as we wish. So we must learn to accept things as they are and remain at peace within. At times, the path of life is filled with obstacles, and when people interact over long periods without genuine understanding, it becomes easy for unfortunate misunderstandings to arise. When we learn to shift our perspective and place ourselves in the circumstances of others, many afflictions naturally diminish, and sincerity begins to nurture the warmth of human connection. Human bonds, when cultivated with a wholesome and kind heart, will grow ever deeper. For we are not born into luxury, and must therefore cherish every fortunate connection we encounter. Thus, each person must rely on their own diligence and perseverance, constantly reminding themselves not to abandon their aspirations, as the path ahead remains long and open. Human beings are not lifeless stone. So when facing the darkness of ignorance, it is natural for fear and unease to arise within the human heart. When the heart is wounded, the desire to cry is completely understandable. Yet we must learn to care for ourselves with mindfulness and compassion. Only when we know how to value ourselves can others truly value us. And only when we understand how to love ourselves can we genuinely offer love to all beings. Not all of us are skillful in speech, so when we meet someone who understands us, explanations are unnecessary, while with those who do not, words themselves become meaningless. Live with integrity, keeping a heart free from shame before heaven, earth, and your own conscience. For this is the strongest foundation for a peaceful and serene life. Time is like a mirror that clearly reflects the human heart, and any form of affection, if given enough time, will inevitably reveal its true nature. As long as we live sincerely, we will encounter those who are profound, and when we wholeheartedly give of ourselves, there will certainly be those who can feel that goodwill. Life holds countless uncertainties, and often answers do not need to be spoken aloud, for as long as the heart feels at ease, we can simply continue walking forward. Whether facing storms or adversity, hold firmly to your purpose and continue onward. For the path beneath your feet is one you choose and walk for yourself. The hardships before us must be experienced by ourselves, and the pain within must also be carried by ourselves. So do not depend on others and create further suffering. There is no need to wait or place too much expectation on others, for relying on oneself remains the most certain and enduring path. No matter how good others may be, it cannot compare to becoming better ourselves. So in all things we should focus on refining and improving our own being. People often wonder what most easily wounds the human heart in relationships, and the answer is often found in careless words spoken without awareness. Words can open the door to another's heart, yet at the same time, they can become the sharpest weapon, capable of causing the deepest wounds. At times, we may not see any outward sign, yet the one who is hurt internally may be suffering in silence beyond what words can express. There are moments when words act like invisible blades, cutting deeply into another's heart without the speaker even realizing the extent of the pain caused. Careless words may not draw blood, yet they are incredibly sharp, capable of leaving lasting wounds within the mind. A cold glance or an impulsive action can be enough to extinguish warmth and affection in an instant. During arguments, thoughtless or aggressive speech can easily become blades that wound others deeply. The closer the relationship, the deeper the wounds caused by words, for expectations and emotional bonds are also much greater. Sometimes the speaker holds no ill intent, yet habitual carelessness in speech can shatter the listener's heart. There are those whose words may sound rough on the outside, yet remain kind within. And at times, emotional instability can give rise to sudden anger without reason. Yet, we should reflect on how much love and tolerance the other person has given us, for only then can we understand how they have endured for so long. Time may heal wounds, but the scars within the heart remain, and they can ache again at any unexpected moment. Although words do not take away life directly, they can cause deep emotional pain and lingering scars that remain for a long time. Careless speech can gradually fade affection, causing others to drift away and leading us to lose precious bonds of gratitude. When human warmth grows distant, life becomes lonely, for it is our own indifference that dissolves meaningful connections. At times, indifference within a relationship becomes the greatest wound to sincere expectations. When hearts grow cold and turn away, restoring what was lost becomes incredibly difficult, if not impossible. Those who endure repeated disappointment gradually fall into silence, and over time their inner world becomes cold and withdrawn. Some wounds cannot be healed by a single apology, for the pain has already taken root deeply within the mind. A harmonious relationship is never easy to build, and once it is fractured, it is rarely able to return to its original state. When we hurt others and only later feel regret, it is often already too late. So we must learn to control our emotions from the very beginning, with just a little more openness of heart and a little more care in our speech. We can preserve the beautiful bonds we have in life, knowing how to cherish those beside us and living fully in the present moment helps us preserve the precious connections we hold. When anger arises, do not rush to speak harsh words, for we can never truly know how deeply those words may wound another person. When the mind is unsettled, silence becomes the wisest choice, for any words spoken in such a state are inevitably shaped by anger and agitation. Words spoken in moments of anger rarely bring anything wholesome, but instead only increase afflictions and deepen the suffering within both oneself and others. Toward those we care about, the more we dwell on negative thoughts, the more easily anger and comparison between gain and loss begin to arise within the mind. If possible, it is best to let go of arguments over winning and losing. For becoming angry with those who are not truly connected to us is merely inviting unnecessary suffering upon ourselves. Using the faults of others to torment ourselves only leads to personal suffering, and in the end, the one who is most deeply hurt remains none other than our own self. Why does anger arise within us? Sometimes it is simply from hearing baseless rumors or being spoken ill of behind our backs, which stirs doubt and unease in the heart. When we are treated unfairly or fail to receive the respect we feel we deserve, anger easily arises, and at times, even when we wish to endure, it becomes difficult to remain calm. Greed, anger, and ignorance are natural emotions within life, and not everyone possesses the inner stability to control them. So when anger arises, we must recognize it in order to transform it. At the very moment anger begins to surge, the wisest response is to pause our speech, allowing the mind to settle before continuing to face the situation. Everyone in life encounters situations that do not go as desired, causing the mind to feel heavy, and this is something unavoidable within the ever-changing flow of existence. Some people develop afflictions due to overwhelming pressures of livelihood. Others feel uneasy because their work does not go well. And some suffer deeply because of difficulties in relationships. Each person chooses their own way to release negative emotions. Yet, without mindfulness, it is easy to fall into actions that harm both oneself and others. Some people release anger by shouting or hurting others. Yet, this only reflects an untrained mind and a lack of deeper understanding. Good and evil are often influenced by circumstances, but those who frequently become angry are usually those who indulge themselves without reflecting deeply within. A person who does not place themselves in the position of others will easily lack compassion in both words and actions, causing relationships to fracture. We often become easily irritated with those closest to us while maintaining politeness with strangers, which reflects a lack of awareness in how we treat others. At times, we rely too much on the love of others and speak hurtful words without considering the consequences they must endure. Even a small dissatisfaction can make us angry and demanding, yet we forget that such actions may deeply wound those we love. On one hand, we enjoy the affection of others, yet on the other hand, we continue to harbor anger. And is that not a clear expression of selfishness within the heart? Therefore, each person should reflect upon themselves, observing whether such behavior should continue or be adjusted toward a more wholesome way of living. In truth, only those who lack self-control are easily dominated by anger, while those who cultivate themselves know how to maintain a calm and steady mind. We all understand that anger cannot resolve any problem, but instead only makes matters more complicated and adds further suffering. When facing situations that do not go as we wish, we must keep a calm mind to observe clearly and find a wise way to resolve them. Ask yourself how much affection has been lost and how many people have been hurt because of your own temper and impulsiveness. When anger flares up, the mind becomes confused and unsettled, making it impossible to communicate or function normally. Even the breath becomes heavy during anger, showing clearly that anger brings no benefit to either body or mind. Therefore, do not regard frequent anger as something normal, for it is a sign of lack of understanding and an inability to master oneself. A person who cannot control their emotions will find it difficult to live peacefully and to bring happiness to others. Thus, we must train ourselves from the smallest things, nurturing patience and compassion in order to transform anger within. In life, there are things that once happen can only be accepted and cannot be forced to follow our desires. There are people who, once they have left, should simply be let go, for clinging only increases suffering and affliction. There are choices that, once made, cannot be reversed, so we must learn to accept them and continue forward with a peaceful mind. Life can at times feel helpless, yet when we see clearly, letting go often brings greater peace than holding on tightly. A little patience can allow pain to pass more gently, and many troubles can also be dissolved in this way. There are words that, if restrained, can prevent unnecessary conflict and preserve harmony in relationships. There are emotions that, if forced, should be released. For when conditions have ended, there is no need to cling further. There are people who, if no longer suitable to walk alongside us, do not need to be waited for, as each person has their own path. Those who truly love will wish to walk together toward the future without needing elaborate promises, yet their bond endures through time. Sincere affection does not need constant display, for quietly accompanying one another over time is what truly holds value. A meaningful connection does not arise from outward arrangements, but from inner steadfastness and mutual acceptance. If there is true affinity, neither time nor distance can divide it. But if there is none, even closeness becomes a form of separation. People often say we only realize the value of something after losing it. Yet in truth, we always knew. we simply never believed we would lose it. Cherish even the smallest things in life, for when we look back, we will realize that they were the most precious of all. There are moments whose deep value can only be recognized once they've become memories. Sometimes we give our very best, yet others may not notice. But when we finally let go, it is then that they begin to pay attention. At times, what we have not yet attained is not because we are unworthy, but because life is preparing something more fitting and beautiful for us in due time. Living simply allows the heart to feel light and peaceful. Yet human beings often complicate their own lives and thereby give rise to unnecessary suffering and distress. Many afflictions arise from hesitation and indecisiveness, causing the mind to be constantly torn between holding on and letting go. Therefore, what needs to be embraced should be accepted with courage, while what ought to be released should be let go of with clarity and resolve. Only when we bring an end to what no longer aligns with us can we open the door to new and better beginnings in life. Life is like a piece of music where white keys represent joy and peace, while black keys symbolize sorrow and pain. Yet, only when both harmonize can they create the complete melody of human existence. If one does not dare to step into challenges and face difficulties, it becomes hard to grow. For adversity itself is the ground upon which the mind and will are strengthened. A person who has walked many paths, experienced countless changes, and resolved their own difficulties will gradually develop maturity and clarity in understanding. No matter how ordinary or simple life may be, each person must still face it with courage, without avoidance or complaint, for all things unfold according to causes and conditions. Time flows endlessly, and people come and go within the stream of life. So we should not miss the opportunity to make our lives meaningful. When the mind reduces its craving and grasping, suffering naturally lessens. For desire itself is the root that binds beings within the cycle of affliction. When speech is reduced in meaningless or careless words, misfortune also diminishes. For harmful speech is often the cause of many consequences in life. When we practice moderation in eating and avoid harmful habits, the body becomes more at ease, for body and mind are always deeply connected. When the mind is no longer entangled in confusion and restless thoughts, sorrow gradually fades away, making space for calmness and the inner stillness. True love does not give rise to painful tears, for when there is deep understanding, everything becomes gentle and requires no excessive explanation. When conditions bring people together, we should cherish them with sincerity. And when those conditions end, we should let go peacefully, without resentment. Life is inherently impermanent, and if we can smile at all circumstances, the heart becomes light and no longer bound by worldly concerns. When watching the sunrise and quietly contemplating the rhythms of nature, we begin to feel a sense of freedom and deep inner peace. When observing flowers bloom and then fade, we come to understand the impermanent nature of all things, and thus the dust of the world no longer clings to our hearts. When the mind no longer clings to afflictions, one naturally reaches a profound state of peace and contentment. In moments when life feels uncertain, each person begins to question what is truly important and worth holding on to. Many also reflect on what makes their life meaningful, yet the answers are often different for each individual. Every person is born into different circumstances, so it is neither appropriate to compare nor to impose the same values upon everyone. Some people value wealth and material things because they have endured great hardship to attain them, and thus their appreciation is understandable. Others prioritize passion and personal interests, willing to give up everything to pursue what they believe aligns with their purpose in life. They live for their own aspirations and dreams, and this is not wrong when it arises from sincerity and does not harm others. Some simply wish for a peaceful home in a quiet place and are willing to exchange everything for that simple life. Each choice reflects one's own causes, conditions, and understanding, and there is no absolute right or wrong within the impermanent flow of life. Yet beyond all choices, the most precious thing is the trust that others place in us during times of difficulty. There have been periods in life when we lost many important things, from family and relationships to stability in our daily existence. Unexpected events such as heavy debts or personal collapse can push a person into despair and a sense of losing direction. There are moments when we feel we no longer have the strength to rise again after repeated shocks, leaving the spirit weary and exhausted. In such circumstances, some people turn away and no longer maintain the closeness they once shared with us. This is also understandable, for not everyone is willing to devote time to someone who is facing hardship and loss. Many fear being burdened or drawn into difficulty, and so they gradually distance themselves instead of staying to offer support and encouragement. In this way, they quietly leave our lives without explanation, leaving behind a silent emptiness within the heart. Yet, it is precisely in such adversity that we realize difficulty is not something to fear, but rather an opportunity for learning and growth. Hardship becomes a lesson that helps us uncover answers we had never fully understood before. Fortunately, there are still those who do not leave us, but remain by our side to support and share the burden, especially those who truly love us, quietly accompanying us and never abandoning us during our most difficult moments. If, in times of hardship, there are still people who remain beside us, then that is something profoundly precious to be cherished with all our heart. Trust is something invisible, not seen or created through material means, yet it can be deeply felt within the heart. It is in times of struggle that we clearly see who truly believes in us and places their hope in us. They remain not because we are wealthy or successful, but because they believe in who we truly are and in the qualities within us. They understand what we are going through and still treat us with sincerity, remaining unchanged even in the face of adversity and hardship. Such people are truly precious, for they do not come because of benefit, but remain because of genuine affection and deep human connection. In the uncertain flow of life, it is not easy to find a true confidant, for the human heart often changes according to circumstances and conditions. Ordinary friends or even siblings may stand beside us in times of ease, but only in hardship do we truly see who sincerely remains. When life is abundant and peaceful, people easily come together to enjoy material comforts and share in pleasures that many secretly long for. Yet, when difficulties arise, that is when the human heart is truly tested. For only in adversity can we clearly see who remains patient and sincere by our side. When money is gone, work is lost, and everything seems to collapse, we begin to question whether we can still keep those around us without calculation or self-interest. There will be those who leave, and those who turn away as if we were strangers, and this is an inevitable part of life's impermanent cycle. What matters most is not who leaves or stays, but whether we can see clearly into the hearts of others and grow stronger from that understanding. It is this insight that helps us overcome adversity and learn to cherish those who continue walking beside us. Live for those who remain, let go of those who have departed, and hold gratitude for those who continue to place their trust in you. At the same time, learn to gently refuse those who do not believe in you, for not every connection is meant to be held on to. Trust is something difficult to obtain, yet when someone sincerely offers it, they will not hesitate to place it fully in your hands. Therefore, strive to live better each day without fear of hardship, for at least there are still those who believe in you and quietly walk beside you. Living well is not only for yourself, but also for those who have entrusted you with their precious faith. For that trust is an invisible yet sacred gift. If you fall, it not only brings suffering to yourself, but also wounds the trust of those who believed in you. That disappointment can sometimes be more painful than adversity itself. So no matter what happens, strive to live with strength and integrity. Do not lose yourself amid the turbulence of life, for your own being is the most precious thing that must be protected. In different stages of life, there are times when we lose ourselves for the sake of another, forgetting the true value within us. We may have once sacrificed our most beautiful years for love, without realizing that we were gradually losing our own sense of self. At times, we cling to beautiful memories and try to erase them. Yet those images remain deeply imprinted in the mind and cannot be easily faded. There are those who have left us because of love, and it is difficult for them to return. For when conditions have ended, they cannot be forced to continue. True love does not involve abandonment, and if separation occurs, it is because the heart was not spacious enough to protect and nurture one another. Words of love only hold meaning when given to those who remain, not to those who have already turned away. Someone who is left once offers no certainty that they will not leave again in the future. When love is not deep and steady, even great effort cannot prevent repeated fractures and separation. Many still believe that with maturity, people will learn to value and trust one another more deeply. They wait for a love where both are mature enough to protect each other. Yet sometimes this is only a fragile hope. For in any relationship beyond love and trust, the feeling of safety is the most essential foundation. A sense of safety is not something that must take time to form, but something that can be felt clearly from the very beginning. Only when there is true peace of mind can trust be built firmly and remain unshaken through change. Once someone has left, their return is often only an illusion, for the outcome was already shaped at the moment of departure. There are things that do not require time to prove right or wrong, because from the beginning we could already sense their truth clearly. Many people still try to use time to justify what is incomplete, even though deep down they already understand its true nature. It is not that they fail to see the importance of emotional safety, but rather that they lack the courage to let go. Yet not everyone can continue waiting when they already know something does not truly belong to them. We should not allow ourselves to waste time hoping for someone to return, for such waiting is rooted in weakness and attachment. If we consider time as the measure of all things, we must also understand that time itself can bring unexpected change. Time can lead us to new relationships, new encounters, and new emotional experiences that reshape our lives. Thus, nothing is truly permanent, and everything changes according to the flow of causes and conditions. What matters most is to never lose yourself for things that were never truly meant to be yours, for that is the greatest regret in life. What once belonged to us has already drifted away with impermanence, while the days ahead quietly approach like a new journey yet to be experienced. There was a time when we traded so many precious things for someone, from innocent smiles to the tears of a youthful and dreaming heart. If loving someone cannot lead to a complete and wholesome ending, it is best not to look back, for doing so only entangles the heart in lingering attachments. If being beside someone does not bring a sense of complete inner peace, then do not hastily gamble the precious time of your life on something so uncertain and fragile. Once someone has chosen to leave, accept that the connection has come to its natural end, and your task is simply to continue walking your own path with steadiness. In life, there are such phases where, because of one person, we unknowingly lose ourselves amidst a flood of tangled and overwhelming emotions. Yet, do not allow those wounds to bury all the goodness within you, simply because someone is no longer there to stay. If pain lingers for too long, it becomes a heavy burden within the heart, making it difficult to rediscover the peace that once belonged to you. Learn to transform those wounds into lessons so that your imperfections may gradually become a source of strength within yourself. In love, no one is untouched by suffering, for it is a natural part of the journey toward understanding and growth. Shedding tears or feeling heartache for someone you love is not something extraordinary, but simply a natural expression of human emotion. For two strangers coming together cannot instantly become perfectly harmonious, and so disagreements and emotional wounds are often unavoidable. Arguments and sleepless nights are also natural when love has not yet matured into deep understanding and boundless compassion. Once we love, there will be days of sorrow that arise without warning, and we cannot always prevent or escape them. At times, it is our own shortcomings that become the reason we must endure even greater pain. Therefore, loving someone is not only stepping into their world, but also learning how to live in harmony within that world. When they share a part of their life with us, we must also open our hearts and sincerely share our own world in return. Sharing is not meant for judgment, but for understanding and accepting each other's imperfections with gentleness. It is this understanding that allows both people to grow and become more complete with each passing day. No matter the circumstances, each person should remind themselves that the most important thing is to cherish their own being. The things that concern us most often come from those we love, such as family, friends, or long-standing relationships. Caring for them is natural, yet sometimes we allow a newly arrived person to disrupt all the principles we once held firmly. There are people who appear quickly, yet leave such deep impressions that they remain unforgettable within our hearts. Some relationships begin as strangers, but become profoundly important within a very short time. With others, we may easily move on after a forced smile, but with that one person, letting go becomes incredibly difficult. We may smile to conceal our pain, yet we cannot truly erase the image that has been etched deeply into our hearts. Sometimes the irony is not directed toward the other person, but turns inward, becoming a quiet form of self-blame. Forgetting someone can at times be even more difficult than remembering them, because memories cling tightly within the mind. When everything feels unsettled, we often take on the pain ourselves and blame our own heart more than anyone else. There are moments when we become the very cause of our own suffering, because we cannot release what has already passed. No matter how strong or rational we may be, once we enter love, we are easily guided by emotions and lose our clarity. The principles we once held firmly can be broken in a single moment when the heart is deeply stirred. Some relationships require a long time before we can open our hearts again and find the courage to love once more. There were times when we blamed ourselves for not being strong enough to remain steadfast in matters of the heart. Yet even in the most difficult moments, we cannot stop thinking about the image of that person. We still wish to see them from afar, quietly following their life, even though we know things are no longer the same. We wonder whether someone else can now bring them the peace we once longed to offer. When things reach such a point, even reason becomes powerless before the strength of emotion. Love itself cannot always be clearly defined as right or wrong, and that is why it often brings such deep suffering. So many people have gone through, are going through, and will continue to experience similar pain along their journey of love. No one can ever find a perfect answer for every relationship, for each connection carries its own lesson. We should only feel sorrow for having once placed that person in such an important place in our hearts, only to realize the vast emptiness when they are gone. In her eyes, the image of that person once became the only thing that occupied her thoughts, making everything else fade into the background. She never enjoyed meals that required conversation, yet when she was with him, she longed for every moment just to hear his familiar voice. She began asking about everything in his life, from the simplest daily details to the relationships around him, and even that was enough to bring her peace. In the past, she disliked having to dress up before going out. Yet, because he once said he liked it, she gradually began to change herself. She grew accustomed to wearing makeup each day, dressing in gentle dresses, and walking in high heels, even though that was never truly who she was. Day by day, she tried to become a different version of herself, just to fit his expectations, gradually forgetting the authentic nature that once defined who she truly was. She once had no interest in reading books, yet because he loved it, she began to gently cultivate that habit within herself. She searched for and read the books he once cared about, hoping that through them she could understand his inner world more deeply and draw a little closer to him. Those efforts were not made to perfect herself alone, but simply to nurture the relationship and make it more meaningful and harmonious. Yet, whether a relationship can endure does not depend solely on the effort of one person, for it can never truly flourish from only one side. True love is a journey of companionship, where two people share, support, and strive together, not one moving ahead while the other silently follows behind. If one person stops or chooses a different path, then the shared road can no longer remain as it once was. Every challenge in love requires both people to hold hands, to stumble together, and then rise again, side by side, to continue forward. That is the fundamental principle of a lasting and sincere love, one that cannot be altered or replaced. When one person leaves, everything that once existed can no longer remain unchanged, for the sense of togetherness has already been broken. Continuing to reserve a place of priority for someone who is already gone only makes the heart more stubborn and trapped in old patterns of pain. When they leave, we become the one who remains, carrying wounds and unfinished goodbyes that have yet to settle. That is why the one left behind often loses more, because they must carry both the memories and the pain that cannot yet be released. In love, do not force yourself to choose between reason and emotion, for that very choice does not truly resolve anything within. Love sincerely when you love, but if you become overly rational, the relationship may turn rigid and lose its natural warmth and tenderness. On the other hand, if you become too immersed in emotion, you may fall into weakness and dependence without realizing it. Sincerity does not mean self-pity or emotional fragility, for sincerity is the foundation of trust, not of weakness. When sincerity turns into dependence, it is no longer love, but rather a form of emotional illusion and attachment. Instead of constantly wavering between reason and the heart, we should learn to use reason with awareness and clarity. After that person lets go, it is reason that helps us remain clear-minded and strong enough to continue walking forward. Reason allows us to look back on the path we have walked, so we no longer drown in the immature emotions of the past. More importantly, it gives us the decisiveness to rediscover the true meaning of life after going through upheaval. There were years when we chased fragile relationships, forgetting those who truly loved and cared for us all along. When we fail to appreciate what we have, loss becomes inevitable, and by the time regret arises, everything is already too late. A person may seem ordinary to one, yet become an entire world to another, showing that value lies not in who they are, but in the place they hold within the heart. The deeper that place, the greater the impact, and when lost, the emptiness left behind becomes all the harder to fill. A wise woman understands that what does not belong to her should not be stubbornly held on to, and what truly belongs to her does not require constant effort to keep, for it naturally remains without force. Men, too, are human beings with thoughts and emotions, not lifeless objects that can be possessed according to one's will. If something must be fought over to obtain, it is unlikely to be kept, for what is not freely given rarely endures. Only when someone willingly stays and offers their whole heart does that love become truly precious. If love must be taken from someone else, then its essence is no longer pure or sincere. Willingness creates trust, and sincerity becomes the foundation that allows two people to overcome life's challenges together. If a relationship is built on competition and possession, it will eventually be taken away in the same manner. In the journey of love, it is not the cleverness of a person that determines whether they can keep someone, but rather sincerity and the nature of connection itself. If a person can easily change their feelings, that is what truly deserves deeper reflection beyond all other factors. Someone who easily gives their affection to others will find it difficult to maintain lasting loyalty and devotion. When we meet the right person, giving love feels natural, but if we are easily moved by anyone, then it is no longer genuine love. Between fleeting attraction and deep love lies a delicate boundary, and only awareness can help us recognize that difference. There are those who leave coldly, without regret, and by the time we realize it, love has already dissolved like clouds in the sky, leaving nothing behind to hold on to. For those who are not sincere, we should not place too many expectations, for the greater the expectation, the deeper the disappointment, and the harder it is to heal. There are things that no amount of tolerance can change, for betrayal remains betrayal, and deception will always be deception. Youth is long, but do not cling to what is unworthy out of fear of loneliness. For every mistake leaves a lasting imprint upon the mind. We have the right to fall and rise again, yet we must remain mindful so as not to repeat the same mistakes that only deepen our suffering. Youth may seem vast and long, yet it is not endless. And if it is continually wasted on things that are not right, one will lose the most beautiful years of life without realizing it. Do not assume that being young allows endless mistakes in love, for there are wounds of the heart that time alone cannot easily erase or heal. People often try to comfort themselves after suffering, yet deep within the heart there remain cracks that have not truly been mended. In love, sincerity and loyalty are not meant to prove one's worth, but to ensure that later there will be no regret for not having loved wholeheartedly. When letting go, if we have once lived and loved fully, the pain will become lighter, for there is nothing left that binds us with regret. To love someone who does not value you means they are unlikely to truly value anyone else in their life. A person who cannot recognize the tears of the one beside them will also fail to understand the pain of others. For selfishness causes them to think only of themselves, forgetting the feelings of those who have sincerely loved them. Eventually, everyone will have their own stories that belong only to their inner world, unable to be fully shared with anyone else. That is when we begin to long for a love deep and enduring enough, and for someone who can walk with us through all the days ahead. We dream of a simple home where the laughter of children echoes and peace is present in every moment of daily life. We wish to build and care for that small family together with genuine love and sincere responsibility. If material dreams are something everyone desires, then a complete and harmonious family is the most fundamental and sacred foundation of human life. When love exists, it requires lasting connection, and when we have given our whole heart, we must learn to nurture and protect one another. Do not divide roles between man and woman, for in love, both must support each other through understanding and shared compassion. Do not assume that only a man must be the pillar, for each person must learn to stand strong within themselves before facing life's challenges. Life is inherently filled with hardship, and without inner strength, one can easily fall before learning how to rise again. There are those who once promised to bring peace, yet in reality could offer nothing beyond words of love that have long faded. Even without wealth or ideal conditions, there are women who willingly dedicate their entire youth to stay beside the one they love. They love with complete sincerity, still seeing that person as their whole world, even while enduring many sacrifices. Yet there are men who easily betray such devotion for fleeting new emotions that pass like a momentary breeze. They forget their promises, forget the one who once stood by them, and coldly abandon everything without hesitation. no matter how painful the truth may be. There are women who still choose forgiveness simply because their love remains too deep. They do not calculate gain or loss, but only hope that one day everything may return to the peace it once held. Love itself is not wrong, but human beings are often not strong enough to withstand the temptations of life. At times, we can only offer a quiet, sorrowful smile as we accept that the one we love is not as strong as we once believed. A woman's forgiveness is not only an act of compassion, but also a reflection of a heart that has loved deeply beyond measure. Even when hurt, she continues to love as a way of preserving what little remains within her heart. This reveals her strength in daring to offer such precious love to someone who may not fully appreciate it. Yet it also reminds us that love must be placed where it is truly deserved and honored. The most beautiful woman is not defined by outward appearance, but by her ability to love and care for herself. When she renews herself, keeping both her spirit and presence vibrant, her beauty becomes naturally captivating. Never feel inferior about your appearance, for true value lies in confidence and the peaceful energy that radiates from within. Never compare yourself to another woman, for each person carries a unique beauty and value that cannot be replicated. In this life, no one is exactly the same, and each person holds their own strengths and imperfections that must be understood and accepted with a calm heart. Do not feel inadequate because of what is imperfect, but instead learn to recognize your strengths and allow them to shine more brightly. What makes you feel less confident should be seen as your uniqueness, for it is this difference that creates your distinct identity. Not everyone has the courage to embrace this, but what matters is whether you are willing to begin for your own sake. Become the first person to value and uplift yourself, for only when you truly love yourself can you receive love from others. A woman may choose marriage and motherhood, yet that does not mean she must lose her youth or her individual worth. Youth is an irreplaceable gift that cannot return, so never allow it to pass by while neglecting your own self. From the moment she is born, every woman carries her own beauty and deserves to be loved completely. Youth may fade with time, but a woman's grace and value can endure if she knows how to cherish and preserve them. The beauty of a woman does not follow a single form, but exists in many expressions, shaped by her awareness and inner soul. Recognizing the beauty of others is a positive and uplifting thing, yet it should never become a reason for you to feel inferior about yourself. People often say that there are no unattractive women, only those who have not yet learned how to care for and nurture their beauty, both outwardly and within their inner world. To become truly beautiful, one must first cultivate confidence, for it is self-belief that allows the inner essence to shine naturally and gracefully. When you believe that you are worthy of beauty, you will carry the energy needed to become the best version of yourself. Many believe that to keep a man, a woman must know how to care, love, and also maintain an attractive appearance. This is not entirely wrong, for caring for one's appearance is a way of honoring oneself and is also part of natural charm. However, true beauty does not lie in striving to become a perfect model, but in becoming someone others genuinely wish to cherish and stay with for a long time. Be the kind of woman whom others think of with warmth, someone they wish to be beside and see as irreplaceable in their life. When a woman knows how to honor her own worth, it reflects maturity and inner independence within her soul. Always remember that there are men who are willing to hurt the one beside them just to please someone else. No matter the reason, causing pain to the woman who stands by you is something that should never be accepted. A man who makes you cry for such reasons is not worthy of walking with you through the long journey of life. In love, there may be empathy and understanding, but there should never be emotional involvement with a third person. Love is a story between two people, and without wholehearted devotion, it cannot be considered true love. When sincerity is incomplete, the relationship itself cannot endure over time. Love requires connection and responsibility. At the very least, a respect for the boundaries between two people. If someone cannot understand that basic truth, it shows they have not truly placed their heart fully with you. In love, even the simplest things should be done with awareness and willingness, not through reminders or force. A man who hurts you because of someone else does not hold deep enough feelings for you. At that point, your place in his heart is no longer important. Whether you are there or not makes no real difference. You become merely one among many options, and when you are no longer suitable, he can leave without hesitation. In the end, the one who suffers the most is still you, because you placed your trust in the wrong person. Women are often the ones who endure the most, and also the ones who must walk away when there is no other choice left. In love, when there are too many options, deception can easily arise if there is no steadfastness. A strong woman is one who dares to leave when she realizes she is no longer valued. And once she chooses to step away from an unworthy relationship, she does not regret protecting herself. A woman in love may appear gentle and vulnerable when she gives wholeheartedly. Yet she can become strong when she recognizes her own worth must be safeguarded. When in love, some women give their entire heart to the man they cherish, offering everything they have without calculation. Do not hastily call that sacrifice or weakness, but understand it as sincere devotion arising from deep love. Loving someone and wishing for their happiness with all one's ability is not wrong, but a sign of a passionate and wholehearted heart. This is not weakness, but complete dedication. For true love does not dwell on calculation or comparison. In love, especially for women, when they long for affection and happiness, they naturally give themselves with sincerity and openness. Each person expresses love differently, some quietly, others passionately, yet all stem from genuine feeling. There are those who speak little, but express love through small, thoughtful actions, caring attentively and gently every single day. They may not be eloquent, yet they are deeply attentive in love, silently doing beautiful things for the one they cherish. Some choose to stay quietly beside their loved one, accompanying them through each day, sharing emotions and thoughts without the need for display. They give everything they can, through both words and actions, simply to preserve the connection within love. Yet women who've experienced life come to understand that when they allow themselves to love, they must also allow themselves to stop when it is no longer worthy. Letting go is not cruelty, but a way of protecting oneself from unnecessary pain and suffering. Like a journey along a road, we have the right to walk forward, but we must also know when to stop so as not to lose our way. When you have loved wholeheartedly, if separation comes, do not see it as failure, but as a lesson that helps you grow. Failure in love is not the act of parting, but remaining together while unable to offer each other the best of what you have. A relationship that cannot share experiences, understanding, and long-term companionship will find it difficult to endure. Sometimes, the end of one relationship becomes the beginning of a new doorway where better things are quietly waiting ahead. True love must bring happiness to both people, for if only one person feels joy, then it cannot be considered a complete and fulfilling love. Do not allow yourself to sink in suffering for too long, because doing so only deepens your own wounds and causes greater harm within. There are moments in life when we grow weary of ourselves and no longer feel the desire to care for who we are. We may neglect our appearance, no longer paying attention to our face or the smile that once came so naturally. At such times, we seem to forget our own worth and allow the mind to drift into negative and unwholesome emotions. Everyone goes through such phases when life feels heavy and leaves us feeling lost and without direction. It is acceptable to feel sadness and exhaustion, but do not let it linger so long that you lose yourself in the process. Life does not always follow our wishes, and there will always be challenges that must be faced and resolved. These pressures sometimes leave us with little time to care for and renew ourselves. Those who are strong know how to rise again, to refresh themselves, and to remain independent without relying on anyone else. They do not allow trivial matters to disturb their lives, but maintain a sense of initiative and steadiness in all things. They know how to organize their lives, keep their minds at peace, and gradually overcome each difficulty with patience. With each passing day, they continue moving forward without letting negativity take control of their path. In contrast, those who are weak often give up easily and allow themselves to be carried away by emotions without awareness. They do not take the time to reflect upon themselves and recognize what needs to be changed in their lives. Yet no one is born strong, as strength comes through time, experience, and continuous inner cultivation. Even things that seem simple, such as the way we dress, live, or work, all require time and effort to be refined. Life is diverse and filled with many kinds of people, so it is inevitable that there will be conflicts and emotional wounds. We are not others, and others are not us, so differences are a natural and unavoidable part of existence. Being hurt or unintentionally hurting others are experiences that cannot be avoided along the journey of life. What truly matters is our ability to recognize, learn from, and transform those experiences into growth within the soul. The fact that we or others may unintentionally hurt one another is something common in life, for no one is perfect enough to create a world of only peace. When we learn to live with our wounds, we not only become stronger, but also gain a deeper understanding of the pain and vulnerability of others. It is through such experiences that we learn to pause before hurting someone, because we have already felt that pain within ourselves. The world of each person is, in truth, small and fragile, easily shaken by external forces that are beyond our control. Anyone can hurt another, and we cannot completely prevent such things in a life that is constantly changing. Yet in those moments, do not allow yourself to become worse simply because of wounds or negative words from others. The right to shape your life lies within your own hands, and even when you make mistakes or face judgment, you can still choose your own path. You may not appear perfect in the eyes of others, but what matters is remaining sincere and kind toward yourself. When you learn to value yourself, everything around you gradually becomes lighter, and pain no longer feels so overwhelming. Each morning, take a moment to reflect on yourself and nurture positive thoughts as you begin a new and peaceful day. Care for yourself through small, meaningful actions, from how you present yourself to how you carry yourself with quiet confidence. When you truly love yourself, those who once hurt you will no longer occupy so much space within your mind. Your life is not given by anyone else, so peace and happiness must be created by your own heart. If you seek peace, return to your inner self, and if you seek happiness, learn to choose what truly aligns with you. Life may be vast, yet it is also fragile, and while sadness may come quickly, it will also pass if we do not cling to it. Today you may feel sorrow, but tomorrow you can still smile and continue forward with a lighter and calmer heart. Each person has the right to choose their own path, and only you can guide your life toward better things. No matter who you are, remember never to give anyone the power to hurt you, and never allow yourself to become more negative because of them. Others may act according to their own ways, but you have the right to keep your life from being drawn into such negativity. Women, in particular, should learn to live in peace. For after all the chaos of life, everyone needs a place within to return and rest. In a constantly developing society, people are easily swept into the whirlwind of work and material pursuits. We strive to earn money to meet the needs of life, to obtain what we desire, and to maintain our relationships with others. Money can make life more convenient, yet it is not the only factor that determines true and lasting happiness. Lacking money may leave us feeling deprived and uneasy, yet money alone can never fill the emptiness that lingers deep within the soul. At times, because of such lack, we feel lost and invisible, as though no one truly sees or acknowledges our existence. Yet behind everything, family remains the place we can always return to without needing to exchange or sacrifice anything. It is the refuge where we can lean on, rediscover warmth, and find a peace that nothing else can replace. Money cannot make us truly happy if the mind is not at ease, but the love of family can bring a profound sense of inner peace. Even when we hold nothing in our hands, having a loving family still allows us to experience genuine happiness. The most important thing in life is not what we possess, but how we choose to live and cherish what is already present. Once, in an unexpected rain, I realized that the pain within my heart flowed just like the falling drops, indistinguishable between tears and rain. After silently running through that long rain, my exhausted body and weary soul made me realize that when the heart is wounded, the body too cannot remain strong. As the storms passed, I awakened to the truth that time waits for no one, and life continues to move forward without ever returning what has been lost. Yet opportunities are always present if we know how to create them, for it is our wise choices that guide us toward the happiness we seek. We can choose to become a woman who knows how to love herself, to live beautifully, and to walk toward a peaceful and wholesome life. We can also choose to walk beside someone sincere, building together a simple yet loving home. No choice is eternally right, for every path requires sacrifice and the acceptance of what remains incomplete. Sometimes we must let go of certain things in the present in order to embrace a deeper happiness in the future. Money may be necessary for life, but it is not the only factor that determines the true value of happiness. As long as there is a place to return to, a steady refuge within the heart, we can remain strong against the storms of the outside world. When the mind is at peace, all difficulties become lighter, and building a stable life becomes only a matter of time and effort. Not everyone has the fortune to meet someone wealthy to secure a comfortable life, and not all wealth can bring lasting happiness. If we meet a good person, it is a blessing to cherish. And if not, we should not lose ourselves because of it. Wealth and simplicity are merely different perspectives, for true value lies in harmony and peace within the heart. Each person has their own limits and needs, so the path to happiness is never the same for everyone. For many, happiness is simply living peacefully beside the one they love, nurturing together a small and warm home. No matter how talented or successful one becomes, family remains the final refuge that nothing else can replace. No one can live, choose, or create happiness on our behalf, for everything ultimately depends on our own decisions. Others may dream of grand things, yet our peace may lie in the simple things that belong uniquely to us. Once we have chosen our path, we should walk it with confidence and not allow fear to shake our resolve. Everyone goes through uncertain times, yet when we meet the right person and the right connection, our choices become clear. At that point, all that remains is to live peacefully together, to overcome hardships while still keeping a quiet smile within. Even if life lacks certain things, it is not something to fear. For when the heart feels complete, external conditions lose their importance. True peace arises when we willingly accept and appreciate what we have, without constant comparison or calculation. When we have found a place of refuge within, the past no longer binds us, and old memories no longer disturb the heart. If one day we happen to meet someone from the past, we can simply smile, knowing we have moved forward and become better. Do not assume that silence means the absence of pain, for those who are most silent often carry the deepest wounds. Those who do not speak are not without suffering, but have learned to endure and heal themselves quietly. When they no longer wish to share, it means they have released their expectations of being understood by others. Pain that cannot be changed gradually becomes a lesson that strengthens and matures the soul. Those who cannot express their hearts often choose to face life in silence, turning their tears into strength to continue forward. A smile after suffering is not a mask, but a sign of deep inner healing and renewal. Only when true happiness is rediscovered can one smile with genuine lightness and sincerity. That joy is not loud or showy, but calm and profound, like a flower quietly blooming within a heart that has weathered many storms. There are women who smile easily, finding joy in the smallest things, and their hearts blossom peacefully like flowers in gentle sunlight. Yet there are also those who, after each wound, grow more silent, no longer opening their hearts easily because they have endured too many storms. It is not that they pretend to be strong or distant, but rather that through their falls they have learned to honor and protect their own emotions more deeply. They no longer share carelessly or place their trust in the wrong places, for they understand that a single moment of softness can lead to many layers of suffering. When speaking of someone from the past, if love still lingers, do not deny it, but instead give yourself time to heal and gently calm the pain within. A former love is like a healed scar, no longer painful, yet still reminding us of what we have once lived through. Allow yourself the chance to love again, to meet someone who knows how to cherish and care for you in the way you once gave your love. Old memories can be kept as lessons, but do not let them become chains that bind your present steps. Do not return to what once hurt you, for life still holds many better possibilities ahead. Once you have let go, hold firmly to that decision and do not allow a moment of weakness lead you back into the same painful path. If your heart has once been shattered, let that be the only time, and do not allow anyone to hurt you again. Be grateful for what has passed, for those very wounds have helped you grow and live better with each passing day. You deserve a life filled with peace and happiness, not days soaked in tears as before. Life is not always as beautiful as dreamlike stories, but is filled with challenges and constant change. True love often must pass through many hardships before finding someone who can walk hand in hand through an entire lifetime. Meeting and staying together is a fortunate connection. Yet not everyone is blessed with such a destiny. There are those who love wholeheartedly, yet remain lonely, because their love comes from only one side and is never returned. They give everything, yet receive nothing, quietly loving without expecting any response. Such is unrequited love, sorrowful, yet still carrying within it a quiet beauty of sincerity and sacrifice. Happiness does not always require possession or attachment, for sometimes simply seeing the one you love happy is enough. Fulfillment can arise from silently watching over them, not needing to be present, yet still holding a small place in the heart. Learn to smile from the depths of your being, so that you too can feel peace in every passing moment. There will come a day when you no longer struggle alone to make someone else happy, but someone will do that for you. At that time, all you need to do is open your heart and receive a love that is whole and peaceful. When you live sincerely and give love in the right way, life will respond with more beautiful blessings. You deserve to be loved and to receive what truly matches your worth. Do not worry about timing, for if the right person arrives a little late, it still matters only that they truly belong in your life. You may go through many connections, but what matters is keeping your heart warm and never closing it completely. Amid the flow of life, like streets filled with memories, we suddenly realize that everything is like a thin mist, and 100 years pass like a single sigh. Remind yourself not to remain lost in wasted days, but to awaken within this fragile dream of existence that resembles an illusion. Even if life is but a short dream, we should still weave gentle verses, nurturing the soul with stillness and understanding. Learn not only to know, but to practice, to transform the inner self, rather than competing for gain and loss in this restless world. May we live like a white lotus beneath the sky, radiating purity without clinging to the dust of the world, keeping the mind clear amidst countless changes. Live with understanding and compassion, for when the mind is at peace, all circumstances become lighter and no longer bind us in suffering. Contemplate impermanence and see that all forms are temporary, so that we may release attachment and return to illuminating our inner awareness. Do not hold on to the rises and falls of the past, for clinging to what has been only burdens the heart and distances us from the present. Return to the present moment, letting go of distant illusions to live fully within each moment that truly exists. Do not live absent-mindedly in this life, but awaken to see that all things are constantly changing and never fixed. Listen to the sadness within, then gently release it, like watching autumn sunlight stretch across flowers and grass without attachment. In time, everything will fade, for 100 years of life is ultimately just a fleeting breath. When we understand this, we will no longer be overly concerned with gain or loss, but will keep a peaceful heart through all changes. No matter how life rises and falls, learn to pause, sit quietly, and breathe gently to feel the peace present within each moment.